what does serverless really mean? The obvious is that, of course, there's still servers in place. You just delegated the responsibility of maintaining infrastructure and the computing power from your either in-house computing or the traditional computing in virtualizations. You're delegating that into the serverless environment. The serverless environment will make sure that your computing power is available, that you have computing capacity, that you can take advantage of it. It will take advantage of a lot of things we'll touch on a little bit later. So, but the obvious is, just to give you an answer, there are still servers, but you don't want to maintain, you could, but you don't want to maintain the servers. You don't want to maintain infrastructure if you can delegate it to a service. And that service is usually done by the cloud provider, which can do a much better job than you can. So you can focus your time on things that matter. You want to focus on your domain, on your core domain of your business, and providing a solution that you really need to pay attention to, and not babysit infrastructure, babysit additional hardware in pieces that you can delegate to somebody else, especially to a service. So obviously, you don't need to provision any more services, or servers in this case. You don't need to provision, maintain, create, cost allocate hardware and infrastructure. So you want to dedicate this to the service in serverless environment. And basically, so you'll get a pay as you computing availability. Whenever you need to create a new microservice, because you know that the computing power is already available to you, that you know that infrastructure is available when requirements change, you can explore options that you couldn't do before. Say you had a fairly complex provisioning process that could take you maybe days, weeks, sometimes months. In large organizations, it can take several months until you get the required hardware in place before you can start a project. And this was for in-house scenario, right? If you go to traditional cloud computing, you can speed up quite a bit this process and shorten the time. But still, you still need to maintain infrastructure to and from the computing, virtualizations, back and forth. And so to me, in an architecture and an overall solution, this creates additional points of failures, or at least you have additional points of failures that you can minimize on.